Hello guys, my name is ManteXD, and what do you guys think about the new intro? Sweet, huh? But even better than that is the video itself, because today with me I have two great guests. I have Tragicstar and I have Pride. How you guys doing?
Hey,
I'm doing
Manti.
pretty good.
Oh man, you guys were very coordinated about that. Wow. It was like one, two, three, hey! No, but this is pretty good. So, real quick, we have gathered today to talk about the new change announcements, which is not a patch, it's a hotfix. Remember that, it's very important. So, for the hotfix, the very first changes that I want to talk about is the weather. What do you guys think about the changes of the weather? Pride, why don't you start with this?
Yeah, I like them. I think weather in general was very oppressing, so I like the changes.
Hmm. So just straight up like that, no weather. I actually like that. So, Tragic Star, tell me, you're the more knowledgeable about making decks. How will this impact the meta, and how do you like the changes for for weather?
Um, I like them overall. I like the change to frost. I like the change to fog. Now that it's capped, it doesn't have to get. Well, see, the problem with weather before was when you had units lining up, you could get the insane value, and then you had to run weather clears in certain decks. But with the new weather, you can actually decide just not to clear the weather, and it won't automatically lose you the game. The only thing I don't like about the new weather is I really don't understand rain. I was talking earlier about it, but it's like they ran out of ideas, it seems, since they had three weathers and they wanted to keep three weathers. They just randomly gave rain this weird ability where it's 5 damage if they line up. It's like a frost, kind of, in a way, but not quite. So I would say just get rid of the whole rain itself and change all cards that have rain to be frost or fog and just keep the two weathers for now. You can always add a third later if something cool comes around.
I see. Once the ideas has been developed, and now since we're talking about the weather itself, what about the changes to Aermacchi? How do you think that this will impact Scoia'tael overall? Pride, go ahead.
I also like the change. I think the card's gonna see a lot less play because it's basically there for consistency now. And overall, I just really hated decks that are just purely based on weather. So I like the change, but I think the card's gonna see a lot less play.
I see. What is your opinion, Tragic Star?
I don't think you'll see it played ever. But
Oh, we're going to extreme here. Okay, all right. And what would
yeah,
that be?
I think it's dead because um, not only is weather itself not as important, but like, what are you going to pull right now with it? A Skellige Storm or a White Frost? And we're going to see the Skellige Storm later, but neither of those cards are so good that you need to risk pulling another silver card out of your deck. And you're basically losing a silver slot in your deck playing Aermacchi. And it can get even worse because if you play Aermacchi, you already played the weather. Well, now you have a completely dead card, a completely dead silver in your hand that does absolutely nothing, which is absolutely terrible. And like part of the best part about Aermacchi was replaying like the Skellige Storm. So you play Skellige Storm and you play Aermacchi and having the double effect. But now that they took care of this, you only can play that weather once. No matter what, you will always only be able to play Skellige Storm once now. So Aermacchi is completely dead.
I see. That's a very fair point, and I'm not gonna say anything. But you know what? I'm happy that the Skellige Storm will be played 3 times in the game. Okay. God damn, that was painful. But talking about the Skellige Storm, Tragic Star, you had something to say about the Skellige Storm.
Yeah, the 3-2-1 was kind of brutal. 2-2-1 sounds fine. It's gonna really slaughter people though if they can't clear it. I think it's probably still the best weather even after the nerf. That's how good it was. And the thing is like people are probably gonna run less weather clears now after all these changes. So teching in just the random Skellige Storm could be really strong.
Oh, I see. So there's a surprise element that might actually impact this. As a
Yeah, before we would, if you're gonna run weather, you'd run tons of weather or none at all. I think you could actually tech Skellige Storm in some decks and be fine. If you ever surprise someone or you could tell that no one's running clear skies for a while, then this card really punishes 2/2/1, 5 damage a turn. That does more than any other weather, I think. I mean, that's almost like gold weather even, because gold weather's 2/2/2. So it's only one less, and yet it's a silver slot instead of a gold. Yeah, I think it's fine. This is the right change, though.
Okay. How do you feel about that, Pride?
I agree with Tragic completely. It's still a very good card. It's pretty good. Yeah, I think it's still gonna see some play.
Okay. Now, another card that has seen a lot of play lately, and it's actually a lot of people have mentioned it as a must, and that is getting a change, is Renew. Pride, would you like to tell us your thoughts about Renew?
I like the changes, but we're going back pretty much close to better, right? Where we didn't see this card being that played. I honestly don't know if we're gonna see it being played now, but I'm quite sure it like you can still. I don't know. I feel like it's still a good card to have in certain decks. But recently this card was used like if you didn't have a very good gold, you would just go for Renew because it was just so good. And now you actually gotta think of when is this card actually gonna be useful, because you don't want to end with a dead card in your hand. Like round one, it's a dead gold. So yeah, yeah, I just like the change, and I think it's fair. The card was a little bit too strong.
Mm. Tragicstar, I know that you're a fan of, comboing Renew with another card called Royal Decree. How will this affect your strategies?
So, anyone that's ever played Renew has a situation where you and your opponent don't play a gold in round one, and then one of the two of you want to pass in round two, just go straight to round three for the card advantage. And then you have those really weird spots where Renew was dead. Well, now it's even more dead since it's only off of your golds. So the odds of it being gold, I mean, the odds of it being dead in your hand is so much higher now, and that was the big reason why we didn't play it earlier, because you only have 4 gold slots in your deck, and this takes one of them out. So you have to draw one of your other 3 golds in round one, and probably or round two, but probably round one, because you never know if you have to win round two. So it's going to be a dead card more often now than it already was, and people already hated it when that happened before. What decks will play it? You're not going to just be randomly teching in decks anymore like we have been doing the last month. Now it's going to be more probably combo decks, like certain decks that have to play a gold. Like one deck I always played in was the Golden Boat in the Skellige deck. So you play the boat, you'd Royal Decree it out, and then the next round you renew it. So we'll see more combo decks like that in the future. So those decks will consider renew. But besides that, everyone else will just look at the card, they'll consider it, and then they'll decide not to run it, which will be correct, 90% of the time or more, whatever it becomes.
Okay, yeah, that's pretty good. So right now, the next change is one of my favorites. Oh boy, the Clan Durham Shield Maiden are no longer veteran. Dude, please, everybody, rockets, fireworks, everybody, because I'm telling you, those things were really strong. Those things are really strong, but why don't you let me know about what are you thinking about it, Pride? Could you elaborate?
Yeah, I love it. I mean, that those cards are better than drones, right? In a lot of scenarios now. It was like so much better because you could blacklist it. I don't know. I just feel like that card was just way too strong for a bronze. And I think right now you're still gonna see it quite a lot. Like perhaps it's not an auto include anymore, as it was pretty much before, but you're definitely gonna see it being played because it's a good deck thinning tool, and it's still a lot of powers, right? It can go up to 15.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I think it's on the right spot right now. Like maybe I would say, is it even still too strong? I don't think so, but we're gonna have to check it out.
Okay. Now, Tragicstar, I know that you have very hard opinions, very strong opinions towards this card. Could you please tell us what you think about the changes?
It's still broken. It is. It's still too strong. Well, like what the fix does is it encourages people not to hold this muster card till round 3 as a finisher, as a lot of people were trying. Because if you held it to round 3, it was what, 21. So now it will always be a 15-point play if you get all the procs off. So now it's just always 15. And if you think about it, 15 points for a bronze card. I mean, that is ridiculous value. Not only that either, but it's 15 points. It's a muster card, so it thins your deck. Out of bronzes, by the way, which is always what you want to. You want to thin bronzes out. You don't want to thin silvers or golds unless you have to. You want to thin bronzes. So you're thinning, you're doing 15 points off the bronze with very little setup. Like, all you need is a damaged enemy. That's most decks can do it. So every deck is going to run this card still, unless it's a really weird deck that doesn't ever damage your enemy. But it's still a must run for sure. Like 99% of decks should still run it unless it's some kind of weird combo deck that never damages the opponent's enemies. Like besides that, everyone's gonna run this card.
And if you compare it with other masters, they're just so much stronger in like every aspect. I don't know.
Yeah, well,
They're probably too strong.
Well, think of it this way. Like I said, 15 points if you get everything off. Witcher's 17 points takes 3 silvers. Yet this is 15 points, 3 bronzes that you want to thin out your deck. So it's still insane. Like I don't think this was enough. I guarantee you actually this card will be changed again. I don't know if it'll be the next month, 2 months or something, but this card will be nerfed again.
I'm gonna have to agree with that. I think it's still too strong. The thinning potential is really strong. Overall, it's just, I would say, the best bronze card at the moment. Well, I'm talking about the best bronze card at the moment. Let's move on to Savage Bear. Oh my goodness, I don't even know what to say about this. I don't know how I feel about this. Guys, help me. Tragicstar, you start this one.
I was asking earlier, are we just going to keep buffing this card every patch and changing the ability until it's, what, 12 points with no ability? Is that the end plan here? Just to turn into a regular bear? Because I don't understand this whole... And the weird thing is, usually when they nerf a card, they like super nerf the card, like they double tap it type of kill it. And yet Savage Bear... everyone wants it to get nerfed every patch, and yet they nerf it, they change it, but then they buff it. You know, like they trade it off. You know, like okay, we'll nerf the ability just a little bit again, but we're gonna keep increasing the strength on the card. So it's like okay, so the card in a lot of scenarios will be weaker and not as annoying. You know, if you play the Harpies, if you play Foglets, those kind of cards, they don't get slaughtered anymore to the bear. But if you're playing just a regular straight up deck, you know, the 7-point bear is still going to be more points than what it used to be if you're not playing musters and, you know, cards are coming out of the graveyard, etc. So I don't know. It's really weird. I think it could have just been left at 6 and, well, you know, they could have left it at 6 and just left the old ability, or I think, or I mean 6 and then gave this new ability that they have currently, or I think they should just change it back the way it used to be long ago, where it pings your cards and your enemy's cards, and then probably make it, I don't know, 4 or 5 strength or something. Because this card has so much synergy if it hits your own cards, and everybody liked this card before they changed it. I have no idea why they ever went to this weird thing where it only hits your opponent's cards and changed the whole cool factor of the card.
Well,
I don't get it. Like, why don't they just change it back? Well, nobody wanted this.
Back in the day, remember that 4 damage was the sweet spot, right? And 4 was actually the strength that Savage Bear had at one point. And I believe that the information gathered from that, it was that it needed to be buffed to the degree that we have seen. But why don't we let Pride explain his opinion on Savage Bear? Pride, let me know, bro. What's up?
No, it's pretty much what Tragic said. Like, why are they still buffing something that they are also trying to nerf? Like, they try to compensate for the nerf by also giving it a small buff. But in this case, I don't think it was needed at all. Like, this card's way too strong. I don't know, it's something that I've been trying to understand, but I really don't see the logic behind it, because Well, to me there isn't. That unit's still too oppressive and too strong. And yeah, in many situations it will even come out as a stronger card than before. So I really dislike it.
Hmm. Yeah, I see. But you know, that is a sweet sour point. But let's go to the sweet stuff. Actually, it might be sweet sour for a lot of people. I saw the Reddit, I saw the Twitter already discussing about this. And the next card we're talking about, the next change is Succubus. Succubus, he has changed, so now the victim has the last say, like they say on the stream. And I need to know what you guys think about this. Do you guys agree? Do you guys disagree? And why? Tragicstar, go for it.
It's the change that it was going to become eventually. Eventually, this was going to be where it's going to end up, like all along. Like, the, when the strength was too high and you just couldn't play the card, you know it was going to keep going down and down until it's finally playable. But then, with the whole last say being, if you play the card, you're the one with the last say. It's too strong. Like those abilities are always too strong. We saw it with the cow carcasses earlier too, because like they don't. I think the way they're going with this game is they don't want you to ever feel helpless, like that you can't ever interact with and stop something that your opponent's doing that's breaking. So this makes sense because if you're running the right cards, such as deshackle or playing, lock cards or ways to damage it after it's deshackled. So no matter what, you can counter this card if you're running the right cards. Where before, it was the old, I play Succubus, opponent plays Shackles, my turn, ha ha ha. Then I play, what is it, Fiend? I think it was the
Yes.
lock one. So then I fiend it, and then then I get your creature anyways, and there's nothing you can do about it. So it lets decks also be greedier. Like they can play 20, 30 point build up or whatever, and not fear the auto losses Succubus. Like they still get punished by Succubus if they don't have, because how many people are gonna run D Shackles? And D Shackles is kind of cool because the card itself punishes you since it does nothing. So if you're running D Shackles just to block Succubus play, you're already hurting your own deck, and that's fine. So the change is correct. It had to be this. This card was going to be this, and every card in the future is going to be very similar to this, where the cow carcasses already got changed, Succubus has changed. I can't think of anything off the top of my head, but any new cards that are like the old Succubus will be changed back to this eventually once everything goes through the whole nerf process. So good change. And you know what? The 5 strength, it doesn't sound like a lot, but every point you lower it, the more playable it becomes tempo wise in round 1. Because one of the problems facing Succubus is, especially if you're the first turn player, if you're down by, or no, if you're ahead by like 4 or 5 points and then you play Succubus for 6, all of a sudden your opponent can pass and go up 2 cards if you were the first turn player. So every time the Succubus goes down in points, not only does it make it more value, but it makes it more playable in round 1 from an opponent passing on you, which is very important also.
I see. Yeah, that's very fair. The best way that I was doing with people, I was hearing this opinion. Some people say nerf, some people say buff. You know what I say? I say healthy. But let's listen right now to what Pride has to say. Bro, what's up?
I agree with Tragic. Like they've been doing this approach for a while, where if your opponent tries to kind of punish, he will play a card that can punish you somehow. You should have the last say. As in, if you have an answer for it, you can always answer it. Like this is with Kalkars, this is with Bork as well. So I like the change. I didn't think what about Tragic just said before, where now you can actually play it and earlier. Like if you have a small gap, it's always you can play it without going 2 cards down. On the other hand, something I thought about before is if it had an effect similar to Fake Siri, where if it's played on your side, you get a small buff. I don't know if that's the case. Like if you play it on your side, it's going to be a 7 or whatever. But I don't know. I feel like the card as it is right now, it feels fair. Because before, this card wasn't fair at all. Like, this card was way too strong.
This
Yeah.
card
I
is
like it.
really this card is really high risk now too, right? Like if you play this and your opponent deshackles it, like that really hurts because you played a gold card on their side. They basically turned it into points with their deshackle or whatever.
Yeah,
Not not
that's what.
not not only did they block it, but they also like literally got points off your gold.
Yeah, absolutely. And they have the last say now, so maybe you can't stop them anymore. And that's why I thought maybe you wanted to get a small buff when played on your side, but I don't know if that's the case. Maybe the card just has a risk that comes with it, and you
Yeah,
gotta decide it.
it's a riskier card now, right? Like it's a kind of like a do or die card now, where your opponent gets last say. So if you play this, you kind of cross your fingers now, and if it fails, it really fails now. So
Yeah.
you know the old high risk high reward, you know that's succubus right now, the new one.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
sometimes you gotta roll that die. Sometimes you gotta roll those numbers and go with the guts.
Yeah,
So
it's a cool card though. I like having some of those cards in the card pool. You know, the more diversity, the better. So I like the change. I really do.
I completely agree with you. And there's another thing that was announced at the very end, and
Uh-huh.
it took me by surprise. The new changes on the UI and the additions that they're doing. What do you guys like about it? Would you change anything? What do you guys think about all this? Tragicstar, go for
I'm looking at it still. Let's
it.
see. So like, are you talking about like the chat thing?
Yes, but it has
I
a
saw that.
recent pending friends and all that. I think it looks pretty cool overall. I think it's much healthier for not healthier, but
So
it's more
so
cooler for the game.
so can you only chat with your friends?
I'm
I think so. That's what I got from it.
Looks like it, yeah. So we don't know much about it, but overall, I think it's a turn on the right direction, and it's always good to keep improving your UI, improving your uh,
Are
how the
are
player feels.
are you gonna be inviting your opponents to your friend list after the games and then saying, "Hey, that was a great match. Want another game in 5 minutes?"
No, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna invite them. I'm gonna invite them towards the friends list, and then I'm going to emote them from whatever character I have, and just spam
Okay.
the emotes, like just write the emotes. Oh my god, that's gonna be perfect.
I can already see it now. You're gonna get the friend request like after like you top decked and barely beat someone, and then you accept the friend request. They're gonna be like, "Lucky mofo," and blah blah blah, and then they'll unfriend you, and that'll be the use of the system.
Whoa, my dog just went crazy in the background.
But it's fine. You know, it's something that other card games have, and it was just a matter of time until they finally got around to putting it in. So I don't know. It's okay. I don't see any problems with it. I don't think it's super special either. It looks kind of what I expected it to look like. It looks kind of normal.
Oh man, Pride, what do you think about it? How are you gonna troll your opponents?
Oh, doing the same thing as you for sure.
Yeah, just do
Yeah,
the emote.
I already give them the emotions in game, dude. You guys know that. It's just an extra opportunity.
All right.
Yeah, like the changes, it's something that was bound to happen at some time, right? So better sooner than later, I guess. It looks okay. I think it looks good actually. I like it.
Awesome. So, for all the viewers, for making it this far, we're actually sharing some of the Gwen incoming artwork as we speak. And while we speak, Tragicstar, anything that you would like to say to the viewers?
About what?
Just overall, shout outs or anything.
Um.
If you
Okay.
had said no, I have nothing prepared. So now you gotta come up with something on the spot. On the spot, go for it.
Yeah. I don't know. Thanks for watching, and making videos is always fun. Like I really like answering these kind of questions, and I always tell everyone on our team that I want to do more Q&A type things and more videos that interact with people, and because I love discussing these kind of changes. I love to do them more. So I like it that the more people that watch it, then the more fun it is to make. So thanks for watching.
All right, Pride.
Yeah, thanks for watching, guys. Let us know what you guys want to see next. It's always fun to give you guys some content. We love it. So yeah, thanks for watching. That's it.
All right, and from my end, guys, just so you know, we know that we skip a couple cards. Uh, if you guys want me us to speak about the specific cards, make sure you put it on the comment section, and I promise you it will be within this week. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.